In this lecture, I'm going to be covering imperfectly competitive markets. Imperfectly competitive markets have barriers to entry, so they might have high fixed or startup costs, geography or ownership of raw materials, and they may have legal barriers such as patents. Graphing imperfect competition is going to look different than we did for perfect competition. Perfectly competitive firms are price takers, so the demand is constant and equal to marginal revenue. In imperfect competition, firms are price makers, so they face a downward sloping demand curve, which means that in order to sell more, they have to lower their price. This fact changes marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is not equal to demand like it was in perfect competition. So, if a firm wants to sell more because they're facing the downward sloping demand curve, they have to lower their price, even though they're in a monopoly situation. So marginal revenue is going to fall. Marginal revenue on a graph for a monopoly is going to be below the demand curve. We need to be able to differentiate between the elastic and inelastic range of the demand curve. If the price is falling and total revenue is going up, then demand is elastic. If price falls and total revenue falls, then demand is inelastic. So you're going to find that by locating the point where the marginal revenue curve crosses the quantity or x-axis, and then you'll go straight up to the demand curve. To the left will be the elastic part of the demand curve, and to the right would be the inelastic part of the demand curve. You could test this by calculating what revenue is going to do at the various prices within the inelastic or elastic part of the demand curve. So a monopoly is going to produce in the elastic part of the demand curve.